Hello my fellow gamers, welcome back to Comfortable Game. We're talking Game Pass, and in this video we're going to talk about why Game Pass has changed video game forever without you even realizing it. And before you click off this video, just bear with me, understand these points why Game Pass has taken everything by storm, and it's changed a lot for us as gamers and the way we approach games, the way we purchase, and the way we play games. And starting off with the easiest thing obviously is just cost and price of Game Pass and the price of games. Now, lately games have gone from $60 to $70 and it's become a normal staple of gaming. And if you buy a lot of games, it can get very expensive. And I know a lot of us save and then we only buy a lot of games on sale, which is the smart thing to do. But at the same time, a lot of us buy and purchase games and things like that. But just having so many games at your disposal, to amazing indie games, to amazing AAA games, day one releases, we'll get to that in this video. It's just changed the way we approach and how we play our games. And why do we need to pay a full price for a game when we can just get it on Game Pass? And that is the new thing that everybody's talking about, including myself, and a lot of things. As I recently just spoken to a friend, I wanted to buy some certain game. He says, no, just wait for it. It will probably eventually come to Game Pass. Usually we used to say, just wait for the game to be on sale. Now I've become very picky nowadays to what games I purchase. The games I purchase have come down to just games I love and games I really want to own. And Game Pass has made me try out so many different games that I've never thought I could try before, to small indie studios and things like that. And it's pushed indie games to such a huge push, and to get so many players to notice a lot of these smaller studios and stuff. It made me purchase certain games, sometimes on different systems, but I played it on Game Pass. Immortal Phoenix Rising I played on Game Pass, Octopath Traveler I played on Game Pass, and I love those games so much that I never thought I would play, and I bought them on Switch just because I think it would be nice to play that on the go and things like that. Doom Eternal I bought because I just love Doom and I love the Doom series. So I still purchase a lot of games, as much as all of us who play gaming. And for us hardcore veteran gamers, there's a lot of games you already play that are on Game Pass. But the thing is that comes into it, and going back to cost now again, is when you're a new game or a fresh new game and generations of more people, if you pair it with like Xbox Series S and you get Game Pass, the value is insane there on how many games you get to play. And the library keeps changing again on Game Pass all the time. So that's another thing I want to get into in this video later, is also the library and how many games come and leave and day one releases. But the point of being cost of just $10 and $15 Ultimate Game Pass, where you can have it on your Xbox and PC Game Pass. So if you have both systems, you benefit immensely on just playing whatever you want. And there's so many PC Game Pass only games, through a lot of strategy games like Age of Empires, Total War, back Warhammer, to that $70 mark. Now you're gonna go and purchase a $70 game, and it's fine, and it's a game you really love. But gaming can get expensive. I mean, sure, you can say $70 isn't too much, but if you're buying a bunch of games, it does add up. But if you have so many games that are day one and games that are on Game Pass, it makes a huge difference for the everyday consumer. And that's why Xbox Game Pass is still talked about as the best deal in gaming. And it is the best deal in gaming. Just your value of money for what you're getting and how many games you're getting. It's just changed the whole way thinking of from a lot of gamers. And as this goes in the future and the Activision deal goes through, for example, it's gonna change everything when your Call of Duties, Minecraft games, and everything is on Game Pass day one, and games are on there, and all you have to do is pay $10 to $15 per subscription. It's a huge game changer, the way we play, and everything going digital and easy of access. All you have to do is come there, search a library, pick a game and play. You might go look up a review and things like that of a certain game you want to play. But there's so much to choose from, and there's so many games you thought you would never try that you're going to sit down and try. And once you finish a game, there's so many other games in there. And going onto the library and outside of things into the game on Game Pass, it's insane how many games are on there to choose from. And like I said, the small indie titles also make it a huge thing that people are overlooking in Game Pass. And that is also changed, that it's pushed the indie market even to a higher state, just because A lot of people don't access these titles. A lot of people are AAA gamers. They'll play COD, a certain big game that comes out, God of War, etc., whatever system you're using. But having these small games and trying them, it gives smaller developers, smaller publishers big chances of things. And sometimes a lot of us buy those games afterwards because we love them so much. I want to own it and things like that. Because a lot of games also leave Game Pass over time. Unless they're owned by Microsoft, they stay on the service. Other than that, games rotate constantly to the library. And that's another thing that's like, same as Netflix, what Netflix has done. It's literally pretty much similar, and everybody's copied Netflix since, to Disney Plus, to Amazon Prime, etc., to having that rotating library of getting excited of new games coming to try out without having to go, oh, I really want to play this game, but I don't know, I can't really afford it this month, I gotta wait for it to be on sale. And we can all understand that, we can all relate. Sometimes you bought this game, or you just buy this one, or you can't buy anything because you're on a budget and things like that. Life can get real fast, and sometimes we have bills and other responsibility. At the end of the day, gaming is just a hobby. But having a game that you really want to play, and you having, it's day one on Game Pass. Starfield is going to be an anticipated huge game for Xbox, and I'm hoping it doesn't bomb. I really do. I'm very optimistic, but I don't know, Bethesda lately hasn't been the Bethesda at all, but let's see. They could still deliver one of the best games of this generation of gaming. So we can see how that goes. Through many other things that Game Pass offers. Now the day one releases going on to it that I'm talking about now. It's a huge game changer when a huge AAA game drops day one and day out. And like I said, you don't have to go and cough up pre-order and stuff. It's there. All you have to do is go and pre-install the game if you want, and you can play it as a get-go. It's a huge convenience. Also for consumer, how much money you save. It's a really big game changer that not a lot of people are talking about, how much day one releases make a huge thing onto Game Pass. And the other thing I want to talk about now is cloud gaming. Cloud gaming is going to change huge things in the future. It's by any shape or modes perfect by any means at the moment. There's still a little bit of things that plague it and issues, but it's still not perfect. But man, when you actually look at it, what it does is that you can literally just pick up a controller and stream a game onto your phone, tablet, whatever you're using. Or if you're away from things, you just stream it onto your laptop, or a lot of things you can do, which makes it so accessible to a lot of people. And where Game Pass is going to take a huge change that people are not realizing. Netflix really took off. People don't buy discs anymore or rent Blu-ray movies. Some people still buy and like to collect. And there's going to be those gamers forever. I'm one of those that likes to collect and have a bunch of games, especially games I love that I always want to come back and replay. But the thing is, the difference it makes with cloud gaming is the accessibility for your everyday consumer. Because when Netflix, for example, came out, it changed a lot of things. It was so accessible to so many movies, TV shows at the finger of your tips. And I'm going to say, but not everybody games. Netflix is a thing. A lot of people are going to sit out and watch a TV show and watch a movie. Like majority of the population in the planet does that. And maybe 20 years ago, gaming was big, but not that big as it is now. It's very common now to be a gamer than it was back in the day. It's a lot more common that gamers play a bunch of games, to Minecraft, to Apex, whatever you're playing, Fortnite, whatever the huge popular games are at the moment, to having a huge library just to access and say, hey, FIFA 2023 is on Game Pass, the new NBA is on Game Pass. A lot of people play those games, especially online games like that, against one another. Call of Duty, when it comes to Game Pass after the Activision deal goes through. It's going to be a huge thing for Game Pass. Huge thing for gamers. And I think it's going to shift a lot of people onto Xbox for that reason. Or people who on PC benefit from both PlayStation and things like that. And now going on to PlayStation, they also copied that, what Game Pass has done. And in all honesty, PlayStation 4 blew Xbox One out of the water. In just terms of sales, terms of exclusive games, everyone wanted generally a PS5. There was nothing wrong with the Xbox One as a console, but just the market approach and how they started off with the console and certain games not hitting the mark for Xbox. And everybody blamed them, you don't have games. And that's literally what it was. Xbox 360 was a great console compared to the PS3, and I think it rivaled PlayStation quite a lot. And then the nether generation came in and it didn't do so well. And so what PlayStation has done now, they realize what Game Pass is really becoming is a juggernaut. And because of Microsoft's deep pockets, they said, you know what, maybe we don't have the exclusives, so we're gonna buy those studios. And how does this change this? Because once all those studios start releasing games day one onto Game Pass and all of that, to Bethesda games, to Activision, to Blizzard games, what if World of Warcraft comes to Xbox Game Pass? It's going to draw a lot of players onto that, to a huge online game. And it changes the dynamics of how we approach and play games. Why would you want to go and spend money unless you really want to own a specific game? And even then, and I've realized that with myself, is if it comes to Game Pass, I'll play it and then I'll pick it up maybe down the line. But if I really love the game, I'll play it and then like I gotta own this, just because I'm that old school gamer who's always, I've played so many games over the years. And there's a lot of gamers like me who gaming is one of their favorite hobbies, and they collect and buy sorts of games on all systems. I play everything to Nintendo, to PC, to PlayStation. So it makes also a huge difference for me where I spend and which games. You know, back in the day we had the demos, you know, you try a demo and you like the game, then you buy it. Well, with Game Pass you can literally finish a whole game and realize, is this game worth owning or not after finishing it completely? And that's a huge thing that people don't realize in the long run of, hey, I played this game, I really loved it, but should I own it? Oh, it's going to be on the subscription. Oh, if it leaves, it's fine, then I'll pick it down the line if I really want to replay it. Because a lot of the times we play a game and we never touch it again, unless there's certain games I've replayed a bunch of times, there's certain games that I really want to replay, haven't gotten to, and things like that. So for us gamers and consumers, it's just all of that in one package. It changes everything. And the cloud gaming, like I said. But now, can the subscription service be a really bad thing for gamers in the future? And there's always those possibilities. And what we can get is games not coming too much finished because they on Game Pass, so it doesn't really matter too much. And then you get to a point where games come with so many microtransactions because they're on Game Pass, because it's on Game Pass, you don't pay for the game, but they're trying to make extra money out of us. And don't say that can't happen in gaming, because we've seen it happen with the free-to-play games. Like, there's so many microtransactions, pay-to-win games. We've seen loot boxes, loot crates in games, and even games you pay for. And just for games to be on Game Pass, I understand there's ways to pay for the game, and if there's certain skins you want to spend your own money on a game to support the developers and things like that, I'm all for that. But this pay-to-win needs to really disappear from gaming. It's really the bane of existence of gaming. But that's not what this video is about. What do you guys think of Game Pass? You think it's changed everything? You think the future of gaming is going to be a bunch of subscription services? That obviously Game Pass is definitely going to grow over the years. It's not going away anytime soon. PlayStation is also going to do its thing. Do you think Nintendo will follow such an approach, or do you think we're going to see a completely new company introduce its own streaming and subscription service for different types of library of games? Let me know in the comments. I hope you like this video. Like and subscribe. It does really help here on the channel. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.